Hi students, this is the feedback video for spiral number 8. I'd like you to use the information on this spiral to go through the problems that you have completed and see where things went wrong or where things went right. For 7a, we're looking at the discriminant, which is defined as b squared minus 4ac. And in this case, I'm just going to label a as equal to 2, b is equal to 5, c is equal to negative 1. So when we do b squared minus 4ac, it's going to be 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 1. So we got 25, and I know I have to do order of operations. And I'm going to have minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Minus negative is going to be 25 plus 8, which is 33. Since 33 is greater than 0, based on our rules for the discriminant, that tells us that there have to be two real solutions, or two real zeros. So let's find those. In looking at this problem, we've got to use the quadratic formula. That's the thing that I gave you up above. X is equal to negative b over 2a, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. So when we plug stuff in, we get negative 5 over 2 times 2, which is going to be negative 5 fourths, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Hey, that's the discriminant. We just did that. So we can do square root of 33 instead of having to calculate that twice. And then we end up with 2 times 2 on the bottom again, which is 4. There is no clean square root of 33, so we can leave it as is and call it a day. For number 8, the biggest issue I actually saw in this problem is not seeing the plus. So this is combining like terms, and I saw a lot of people doing distribution. But if we take a look, 1 plus 3, which is 4, and then plus 2i plus negative 4i, which is minus 2i. And we're done. That's it. Number 9 is going to be kind of similar, but here we do have multiplication, so we do have some distribution. 5i times 6 is going to be 30i, and 5i times minus 7i is going to be minus 35i squared. The only piece that you need to know here is that I squared is negative 1, so therefore 30i minus 35 times negative 1, it means the same thing. If I multiply into minus 35 times minus 1, that's going to be plus 35. So 30i plus 35 is the answer. Next up, we've got some completing the square and some circles. So I might start this out by saying, okay, I know this is going to be x squared plus 10x plus something. And if I do 10 divided by 2, that's 5. 5 squared is going to be 25. That something has to be 25. The only way for me to get 25 when I have 22 is to add 3 to both sides. So we've got g of x plus 3 is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 25, which is the same thing as x plus 5 squared, is g of x plus 3. Minus 3 to both sides, we get g of x is equal to x plus 5 squared minus 3. And we're done with the completing the square part. Sketching, we've got a vertex at negative 5, negative 3. Bada bing. And since there's a 1 here, we're going to go up 1 in both directions. Make a nice, happy parabola. For number 12, we're given an equation for a circle. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 16. I know this is going to be a center of 3, 2. It's going to be whatever makes the parentheses 0. And r squared is going to be 16, which means that r is going to be 4. So at 3, 2, we're going to go 4 in all directions. And hopefully yours will not look like a rectangle, or even worse, some kind of a closed or open weird thing like mine does. Okay, that's moderately better. Still pretty terrible, but you've got a circle.